and our sales process. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was one of the biggest problems that I often see people going through when they're in their sales process, and the biggest part of the pitch where I think most people get it wrong. And the fact of the matter about this is a lot of coaching programs teach people to do this, to be able to pitch in a more simple way. And while it can help, what I think it does is it pigeonholes us into pitching something that's not necessarily what your actual prospect needs. It's something sort of generic and something that everybody needs. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, what it is and how to fix it. If you're excited about what I'm going to talk about, just drop an excited below. If you are joining me live, give me a hashtag live down below. If you're joining me after the fact, give me a hashtag replay down below. And if you like my pink shirt, just comment awesome shirt, brah, just because I have the Hawaiian shirt, I've got the bun going, and we're ready to take over the world. Anyway, the big thing that happens with a lot of people is when they're learning to pitch, they usually build pillars for their offers. So their offer stands on pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3. And pillars are fine in and of themselves because it allows us to create something that seems new, unique, and safe. It's what we ultimately want someone to look at our product and see as, okay, it's new, this is neat, it's something I can be interested in, it's not the same, it's unique, it's literally not the same as anything else, and it feels safe. It's removed a lot of the risk, so I feel comfortable jumping into it. So we want pillars that are new, unique, and safe so we can create that. The problem is a lot of people don't create pillars that are new, unique, or safe. It's like the same thing in health. It's always associated with weight loss. It's something about mindset. None of weight loss and mindset doesn't seem new, unique, or safe. Now, when you take my offer, our weight loss offer has the brain code rewire, which is a different way to go about mindset. It has neuronutrition, which is a different way to go about nutrition. And so by making our pillars seem like that, it puts it into a place and a position to where it seems new, unique, and now safe because it's different. And then safe is something we have to look at the same time, because safe is also the ability to remove risk from the equation. You'll see this with like guarantees. You'll see this with the ability to not fail. You'll see this with support. But the more safe you can make it, the more likely it is someone's going to buy. But this isn't where we screw up our pitch. Where most people screw up their pitch is they have the pillars outlined and they'll go through the whole song and dance of like the discovery process and the summary and do the whole call and all that. And then they get to the pillars and they're like, okay, well, basically here's what we'll do. We'll do pillar 1, we'll do pillar 2, and pillar 3. How does that sound? But it's not personalized to the person. It's just generic pillars that are maybe more or maybe less than what the actual person needs. And so when they hear things that is more or less than what they need is not exactly what they need, it puts them into a position to where they want to think about it, because it doesn't necessarily completely solve their problem, or it solves more than their problem, which is what they don't need. And if someone has a big problem, they want that problem solved. If it's anything more or less than that, they're going to want to think about it because it's not quite what they were thinking. So when we go about our pitch, and what we teach inside of our Compassion Conversations Academy is we teach you to pitch in a way to where it's personalized, and not personalized basically just guessing. It's personalized because we teach a process and discovery to where we can uncover the real problem. We take the external statement and dig at it until we find the internal belief associated with what's really going on. Then we take the internal belief and we teach people how to connect the dots and chip away at it to understand the past and the triggers that are associated with failure that have been manifesting and causing problems along the way. So now we've taken the problem from weight loss to, wow, I didn't know that overeating as a kid caused this problem and this cascading impact. So it's not even diets that are the problem. It's this. How do I fix this? Now that we've uncovered and created this in our level 5 listening concept, we move over to the pitch and we say, hey, we have our pillars still, but we say, hey, because you said you have this overeating problem and it's more of like a mental health type of thing because it's a trigger that you can't get past, what we're going to do is the brain code rewire. And the process in that is essentially rewiring your brain code so you don't have to fight cravings anymore and you don't have to fight your past. We can embrace it, learn to work through it. And because you also said that you've tried a million diets and nothing seems to work, we're going to do what we call neuronutrition. And that's tapping into the aspects we'll look at with the brain code rewire to put you in a place where you no longer have to follow diets, pills, or restriction. You're simply following something that matches your lifestyle and it's going to match what's going to work for you long term. So that pitch is highly personalized. And that's ultimately what we want to create. We want to create the ability to ask questions to define the external and the internal belief. We want to take that and understand everything that's happened along the way, and then use that to create a beautiful pitch that specifically matches what the person needs. Because now when they hear it, they say, wow, that's everything I said I wanted. That's everything I needed. That's everything I'm struggling with. I really need your help. Can you help me? And ultimately, that puts you in a really good place to have a pitch that is designed specifically for the person you're speaking to. So when they hear it, they specifically want it because it's exactly what they need. And it's not more, it's not less. One of the fatal flaws a lot of people will make in this as well is they'll try to pitch everything. And I made this mistake in the beginning. We tried to pitch our 6 pillars. And it's like, you need mental health, social health, sleep, nutrition, fitness, habits, and we'll do this and that and all this stuff. Nobody cares. The cold-hearted truth is nobody cares about all that you offer. Nobody cares about what your offer is. Nobody cares about all that it includes. All they care about is the fact that it will solve their problem, and it makes them feel safe knowing that it's the only thing available that could possibly solve their problem and ease their pain and suffering. And that's why we need to design our pitch in this way, because it's not about more. It's about just enough. It's about hitting the arrow straight in the center and solving their problem specifically. And that's exactly how we want them to feel, because then they're going to feel safe. And once someone feels safe, they'll do anything to be part of your program. They'll do anything to jump in with you. And that's when you need to make the ethical decision as to whether or not it does make sense for them to work with you. And that's why I created Compassion Conversation, so we can create this situation, so we can help people feel safe and good about the process, to remove the salesy idea from the equation, and to help people learn that they can say yes to themselves, that they can talk to us in a way that they've never talked to another human being before. They can finally feel comfortable confiding in someone. They can finally be challenged for the things that they've been struggling with for years. And they can finally learn to say yes, that it's okay to say yes to themselves. And it takes the onus off of me to perform and puts everything on them to either want it or not. So let me know if that makes sense. Give me a hashtag makes sense down below. And if you found this valuable, give me a hashtag valuable down below. And let me know what your number one biggest takeaway is from this video. And if you're interested in working with me to learn this whole process, we'll take the whole 9-step framework, map it out for you, make sure that it's mastered. I'm going to put a link to my calendar in the comments. Just go ahead and book with me. I practice what I preach. You can buy it or not. We're going to figure out whether or not it makes sense. If it doesn't, that's okay too. No pressure. No, leave your wallet at home if you want. I don't care. Just book a call and see if it makes sense if you're struggling with sales. All right. I will talk to you all later.